Have you ever looked at your child and thought, wow, they're brilliant, but not in the way that schools usually measure? Well, you're probably onto something huge. Today, we're going to dive into this amazing idea that confirms you're right. And more importantly, we'll give you a practical guide on how to spot and really nurture your child's unique kind of genius. So let's start with a big question. Is there really only one way to be smart? For a long, long time, society basically told us yes. But what if that's just a complete myth? You know, this one question has kicked off a total revolution in how we understand a child's mind. You see, the old way of thinking tried to cram intelligence into this tiny little box measured by a single IQ score. But modern science has just blown that box wide open. It turns out there are many, many different ways to be smart. The real question we should be asking isn't how smart is my child, but how is my child smart? It's a total game changer. Okay, so what are these different kinds of smart? Let's get into the framework that really started it all. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. This gives us a whole new lens to see and, really appreciate all the unique talents our kids have. First up, we've got linguistic intelligence. Let's just call it word smarts. This is the kid who absolutely loves telling stories, who has a clever comeback for everything, and who can probably argue their way into an extra bedtime story. They just have a way with words. And you'll see the signs early on, right? They're drawn to books and stories, they might have a vocabulary that just floors you, and they truly enjoy a good debate, even if it's just about why they need 5 more minutes on the tablet. Next, we're heading into the world of logical mathematical intelligence. This is all about reason, spotting patterns, and seeing how things connect in a way that, frankly, a lot of us might miss. This is that kid who just lights up when they see a puzzle or a strategy game. Their favorite word is probably why, and they pretty much treat your kitchen like it's their own personal science lab, right? Now, let's switch gears to the kids who think in pictures. That's visual spatial intelligence. It's this incredible ability to visualize the world, to mentally rotate objects in their head, and to navigate like they have their own internal GPS. You'll totally recognize this in the kid who is always doodling or the one who's a master Lego builder. They're the ones with the surprisingly good sense of direction who would always rather look at a chart or a diagram than read a long paragraph of text. Okay, so from sight to sound, let's tune into musical intelligence. And this is so much more than just being good at an instrument. It's this deep, almost intuitive feel for rhythm, pitch, and melody. And this one, it often shows up super early. It's the toddler who can bop perfectly in time to a song, the little one who hums a tune they've only heard once, and the kid who just seems to have a metronome built right in. What about thinking with your body? Well, that's a real thing. It's called bodily kinesthetic intelligence, or body smarts. It's this amazing gift of using physical movement to figure things out, solve problems, and express big ideas. This is the child who absolutely learns by doing. They just can't sit still because for them, movement is thinking. They just thrive in sports, dance, or any hands-on project. And they often have this kind of physical coordination that looks completely effortless. All right, now let's move into how we connect with other people. This is social intelligence or interpersonal intelligence. I like to think of it as the superpower of understanding people. Being able to read a room, sense what others are feeling, and build connections. This is your little diplomat, the team captain of the playground. They show real, genuine empathy when a friend is upset. They tend to naturally take the lead in groups, and they absolutely light up when they get to work as part of a team. Now, this one is closely related, but it's turned inward. This is emotional intelligence. While being socially smart is about understanding other people, this is all about knowing and managing your own inner world. And you can spot this in a child who can actually put a name to their feelings, who can say, "I'm feeling frustrated," instead of just acting out. With a little bit of help, they learn to bounce back from disappointment instead of letting it take over. And that brings us to our last one, intrapersonal intelligence, or self-smarts. This is all about having a really deep connection to yourself, understanding what motivates you, what your strengths are, and what you want to achieve. This is the quiet reflector, the child who actually prefers to work on their own and is driven by their own deep passions. They seem to have a strong sense of who they are and what they love, and they're really good at following that internal compass. Phew! Okay, so now you know the 8 different ways to be smart. But the big question is, how do you figure out which of these are your child's superpowers? Let's get practical
and move from theory to what you can actually do. First off, forget about tests and quizzes. The absolute best way to discover your child's intelligence profile is to just become a detective. Seriously. Watch what they naturally gravitate towards when they have free choice. What activities make them totally lose track of time? That's where you're going to find the biggest clues. And here it is, the golden rule. If you remember nothing else, remember this. What a child consistently chooses, enjoys, and returns to is often where their intelligence lies. You just have to follow their joy. It is by far the most accurate compass you have to their true potential. Okay, so once you've spotted a strength, how do you help it grow? Here's a super simple roadmap. First, just name it so they see it in themselves too. Then give them lots of opportunities to practice and get better. And this next one is absolutely crucial. Make sure they feel safe to fail and try again. That's where the real learning happens. Then find ways to connect their passion to other parts of their life. And maybe most importantly, celebrate their progress, their growth, not how they rank against somebody else. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that genius isn't some random accident of birth. It's built. It's cultivated. By understanding your child's unique way of being smart, you're giving them a gift that is so much more valuable than good grades. You're actually helping them become the person they were always meant to be. So let me ask you, what kind of genius are you raising?